Welcome to the Lost Track of the 80s show. I'm your host, Mario Toscano, coming to you from the always rockin' city of Los Angeles. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever imagined turning on the radio and hearing a great 80s song you've never heard before? Well, you may have lost track of the 80s, but we haven't. On each episode, you're going to hear a new 80s track we know you're going to love. Today's show features the hard rockin' song, Is There Anybody Out There? By Tokyo Rose. This group of accomplished musicians from upstate New York played original and classic rock featuring guitarist Keith Medley and vocalist Jeff Axelson, who was often compared to Led Zeppelin's Robert Plant. Throughout the 80s, Tokyo Rose was one of the most popular touring bands on the East Coast, reaching cult status in their hometown Buffalo area. But before I play you their surprise hit, let me tell you how this lost track of the 80s came to be. Tokyo Rose recorded their first album at New York City's famed Hit Factory. Although that album was never released, the band caught the attention of chief engineer Frank Camentali, who played their cover of Led Zeppelin's Kashmir for Michael Christopher, owner of American Empire Records.
Notice the dust that blows behind you, moving through Kashmir.
Christopher, a lifelong Zepp fan and originally from the Buffalo area, was blown away by the melodic range and the spring-loaded energy of the music. He booked them into Pyramid Studios in Ithaca, New York, where they were paired with Grammy award-winning engineer Rob Wacko Hunter. Wacko, formerly the drummer of the English heavy metal band Raven, infused Tokyo Rose's sound with a British attitude. And now, here's today's lost track of the 80s, Is There Anybody Out There?
I feel the day turning into night. Yeah, you know I'm gonna make it. When my world starts shining, let it shine so bright. Yeah, you know I'm gonna make it. When we get to the top and then we'll have to drive so proud. Yes, we'll drive. Another lonely night. Is there anybody here? Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody here? Is there anybody out there? I've waited for this night for all my life. Yeah, you know I'm gonna make it. When I get the chance, you know I'll make it right. Yeah, you know I'm gonna take it. When we get to the top and then we'll have to fly, so we'll fly, wave bye-bye. Another lonely night. Is there anybody here? Yeah. Is there anybody here? Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody here? Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody here? Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody here? Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody here? Is there anybody here? Is there anybody here? Is there anybody here?
That 80s, fans, was Is There Anybody Out There by Tokyo Rose. And there's more to this rock and roll story. During their peak touring years, Tokyo Rose was invited to play at the Buffalo Music Awards. That year, local band The Goo Goo Dolls, you might have heard of them, won Best Alternative Band. But Tokyo Rose was honored as Best Original Rock Band of the now legendary 8-hour marathon concert. Well, that's it for today's Lost Track of the 80s. But please, don't lose track of us. I'm Mario Toscano, and thank you for tuning in.